Anton, welcome to the platform. Holler in this shit,
my friends. What's going on?
What up, Anton?
What's happening?
You calling us simps on the platform? Come on, man. That's not how we start the relationship.
He got to try to hit us with a compliment sandwich.
Come on now.
I love y'all, y'all simps.
No, a lot of the conversations that y'all been having lately is based off of simp behavior. I think that you can have both. I think that you can both be incredibly masculine, but I don't like the idea how we trying to diminish the value of men when you're trying to compare them to or have a conversation based off of relationships. You can have both. You can have incredibly masculine men. But well, let's start here. First of all, I don't even understand the whole idea of 100-0, 50-50. None of that even makes sense. It's supposed to be 100-100. Okay? You're supposed to be given 100% of everything that you have as a man and as a woman into a relationship. What is this 60-40, 50-50? Men pay for 100% of it. Women have always worked. Now, they may have not always brung in resources specifically into a household, but a woman has always worked. And in a society where you're talking about we've advocated for equal, and then we're not including into the conversation and inherent risks that come along with, or all of the problems that come along with family court. When you're talking about women that advocate against family court, but then at the same time are advocating for a man to operate in a traditional role, which one do you want? Do you want to bring in resources? Because let's be very clear, unless a woman is having multiple children and she's raising those children prior to those children becoming students and going to school full time, or she's homeschooling them, the majority of women that have children going to school full time and that are not working are not doing anything inside of their households. They are often at times waiting for men at the finish line and then saying, what is it that you can do as far as being a man in order to cover me? But then they're not actually adding additional value into the conversation by then adding value into the man, because a woman's inherent role is to be a helpmeet, meaning that she has to fall under the vision of a man. So to completely absolve them of the responsibility that comes along with what it takes in order to be a wife. See, we keep talking about what men are. Men are inherently leaders. And we're not talking about what it takes or what you're supposed to be vetting for a wife, right? Because women are not even supposed to be dating. The problem in these conversations is that people don't even really understand what courting means. They don't understand what it means in order to find a wife. And as a person that's been married for over 20 years, and my entire family is married. All three of my brothers have never found divorce. My father, until his untimely demise, was married all the way up until he passed away in 2017. And then my mother found another husband that's very similar to him. All 9 of my uncles have never gotten divorced from their wives. I think that there's a blueprint to what it takes in order to be successfully married, but we're not having the conversation in truth because we're so busy trying to hold men accountable when we're not really understanding the dynamics by which people are dating, because you're not supposed to be dating in order to find a wife in the first place. So very few people really understand what it means to actually be married, and very few people understand what it means to actually be successfully married, because there's a difference.
Hold tight, Anson, because you got something. You can listen. You firing off the points. But I'm very curious to hear what Yada has to say about the comments that you just made. Then I got a question for you, Anton.
Most people have no idea how to plan a date that builds connection with 100 engaging dating cards, skip the small talk, and get straight to the real conversation. Let's take the dating game to the next level. Click the link in the description and use discount code CLIPS for 10% off.
All I can say first is, man, all praises is due completely to the Most High. It's just sad that when a man is a provider for a woman he loves and his children, takes care of his home, removes her worries, and tells brothers, hey, I believe if you say you love a woman and she's your woman, you should provide for her. It's called simping. I don't even think these brothers know the definition of simping. I think they might need to Google it. Can we Google simping right now?
Let's take a look at it. We're gonna take a look at it. Hold tight, Anton.
Definition for simping?
It has to be. And I'm gonna be the researcher here.
All right, yeah. So let's actually look at it right now.
Oh man, I got
we about to pull this up.
My Philippine search engine coming up. Help me out over here, Ty.
I think it says for simp definition. Wow, this is Merriam-Webster. To show excessive devotion to or longing for someone or something. I think that's what I see here.
Excessive devotion.
Wikipedia got a simplest internet slang term describing someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention toward another person, typically someone who does not reciprocate the same feelings in pursuit of a sexual relationship.
Now, see, I think that might be the key.
Is that now ask the brothers again. They using words, and we gonna keep moving, but they're using words which they don't understand. Now a brother can say he's been married for 20 years. I know brothers have been married for 50 years, but when I talk to their wives, they're highly, highly, highly broken, upset, and depressed. I'm not sure who this brother is. I've never heard of him before in my life, but he sounds bitter. He sounds like he's been brokenhearted. Maybe the first person he ever loved hurt him, or he watched his father emotionally abuse his mother. And the reason why I say that, because if a woman's been married for as long as his mother has been married to her father, why would she get remarried? Something about that just doesn't add up. We repeat dysfunction. We say, my father has been married. I've been married. My brothers are married. That means nothing. I know a lot of dysfunctional married couples. The problem is these men don't got no money. And that's the real thing they should say. I'm broke. I'm trying to get my bag up, and this is what it is. You can't come at a man that's wealthy. You can't come at wealthy man that went for the race, but for the trophy. Now we got the trophy and we're dancing and we're saying, ha, 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 ha. We got diamonds and gold on our trophy, and you're looking at yours and your trophy falling apart. Something ain't right with that, brother.
See, and these is ad hominem attacks because instead of him speaking to it, see, the difference is that my mother was widowed. It was an unfortunate accident that ultimately met her demise. The guy that she wound up marrying was a guy that literally walked in because she was working for me. See, I am wealthy. It's a difference, right? I'm not. No. Let me be very clear. I'm not speaking as a man under duress.
Hold on.
Right?
Anton, let me ask you this.
We're gonna go there tonight because see, he's not speaking to the point.
Anton,
he's speaking to a person.
Listen,
it's a different dynamic here.
Anton, listen, we want to keep you on. I want to get some context.
All praise.
You mentioned the multiple marriages in your family. Your family has a lineage of successful marriages, is what you're communicating. Was there a specific structure, financial structure, that was taught to you to be able to run a successful household, or is it each of those marriages could be potentially operating on whatever they individually believe in?
What do you mean by each of those? It is a blueprint by which we live, right?
So what is
well, let's be clear. My wife hasn't worked for the last 15 years for somebody else, but she very much works for me, and she works very, very hard for me, and she is the beneficiary of my greatness. So let's be very, very clear. We're not talking about living under duress here. Right. He's speaking to a specific demographic, but that's not my story. When I speak out of abundance, and I speak biblically also. Right. And a woman is supposed to be a helpmeet. She is not supposed to be moving based off of what she thinks makes sense. She's supposed to be falling up under the vision of the man that then leads her. Right. But if you're simping, because simp is a word and it does have a meaning, and there's additional context to be added to it. Similar to if you want to define friendship, it's not entirely encompassed based off of what you read the definition to be.
But Anton,
it's additional context to be added into that. And if we really take into consideration,
Anton, we're confused because you're saying that you've been in a relationship for quite some time.
I've been married for 19 and a half years. I've been in a relationship, married since I was 22 years old. Nobody ever hurt me before.
I understood. And 15 of those years, you said that you've pretty much been 100% providing for your wife. No.
I said she hasn't worked for somebody else. Once my child. Okay, so this was the dynamic. When I got married, my wife was working full time, right? And in addition to that, she was shooting in the gym, because when we had these conversations, we have to speak to the majority, not the minority. Majority of people that get married, and you do not have to have an abundance of resources in order to get married. The majority of the people that are looking to get married are not millionaires like me and Yada, right? So the difference is that the fact that she did get up under my vision, because two people can pull 10 times their weight versus people looking at it as a 50-50 relationship. What did you bring and what did you bring? We've managed to build wealth and then build a legacy that allows for me to be able to never have my daughter ask for student loans, right? But here was the key. When she had my daughter, we decided that she was going to be a full-time mother until my daughter became old enough to be able to go to school full-time. After that point,
wait, hold tight. Because I understand that. I want to get an idea of what is your current philosophy to maintain the most healthy relationship. Is it 50-50 or is it
100? If she has the ability to work, she should. Because every woman, listen, I'm in a position to where I can leverage her talents much more effectively than an employer could. But if a woman has the ability to work and her kids are going to school full time, she should be working. And she should be bringing 100% of her resources into the household. No man should have it to where you paying the majority of the bills and then she can do whatever it is that she want to do with her money. It's one pot. It's one pot.
Okay, so Anton, because I understand what you're saying, but I am a bit because Yada, are you not saying the same thing? Are you saying that, hey, if your woman is going to work, she's going to work with you
for the family,
right?
Yeah.
No,
can I say something, please?
Yeah, of course.
You know, and I'm not sure who this brother is, and you know, I hear his passion. You know, I hear it. But when he speaks about his wife, he speaks about her like she's an item. She works for me. She's up under me. No, that's not how the family dynamic is. And then he's saying, well, you're a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. When I wasn't a millionaire, I took care of my woman 100%. Without finances, I lived in my lane. And that's the topic of the conversation. I can stay in my lane. All the brothers can stay in their lanes. And it should be like Antoine, that's able to, his wife have children and she's able to stay home while he provides for everything. That is the goal. He's saying exactly what I'm saying. Matter of fact, he's living exactly what I'm saying, but yet calling it simping.
No, I'm not. I'm not living what you're saying.
No, because
I wasn't able to finish the point. The point was that when we have these conversations based off of what
Anton, heads up, just be brief and brilliant with this because we want to get a
I got you.
So go ahead.
I love you, brother.
And I love you too. And I think that we should be able to have conversations to where we provide differences of opinions. And sometimes it's going to be similar and sometimes it's going to overlap. But it doesn't have to necessarily be toxic, right? We just kicking it, right?
Definitely.
But here's the thing. When we speak to these conversations about relationships, we are in a different dynamic to where we have a certain level of net worth that allows for us to really be able to live in a different space to where our wives don't necessarily have to go and work for somebody else. But the overwhelming majority of the population, including Black people specifically, you need two incomes in order to even build up that nest egg or be working towards something specific that allows for you to then divest yourself or allow for her to then work for you or to not have to work for somebody else in order for you to be able to survive, right? And so what I believe, similar to what he was saying, is a healthy relationship is if you have children that are old enough to go to school full time, she needs to be working and not necessarily just for you because you may not even be in a position to where she can work for you yet. She needs to be going out, getting resources, going to work full time and bringing 100% of those resources back into the household for him to manage. And when he manages those,
brother, hold on, brother, that sounds like a prostitute and a pimp, brother. That sounds like a prostitute.
It's not.
Let me say something.
And look,
I respect you.
And this is why it's the difference.
And we're gonna hear about it. Anton, listen, we're gonna let you go on this one. We're gonna let Yada close this one out. But before we let Yada close it out, I just got one question for you, Anton. Yes or no? Is it fair to hold men to the expectation that it should be 50-50 until they're able to produce 100% of the finances? Is that fair?
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Yo, Anton, look, first of all, I appreciate you for coming up here and having a respectful conversation, brother. Much love to you, okay?
Yeah, God bless you. And also, I have nothing against him specifically. It's just certain talking points that I may disagree with. That's it.
No,
First
I
off,
get that.
Anton, we know
It's
you're mature,
love.
brother. It's
Yeah,
all
definitely,
good. Yeah, ain't no
definitely.
love
It's love,
lost. We appreciate you for coming
love.
through.
Appreciate you,
I
brother.
see y'all.